So this also includes Richmond County as well, and portions of Burke and Barnwell County. Let's go to Doppler Max radar and get a better look at this. So this is actually the cell we were just taking a look at. This is heading towards Aiken. You can see very heavy rain with that, possibly some 60-mile-per-hour gusts, maybe even up to nickel to quarter-size hail with this. So make sure you are getting inside if you live anywhere in Aiken, Barnwell, or portions of Burke County. That does include Waynesboro. We'll have another updated radar here in just a few minutes and talk about that forecast in just a little bit.
Riley, thanks very much. Of course, all eyes are on SRP Park right now as players and fans and the ballpark crew prepares for what is supposed to be opening night.
And, of course, weather leaving a big question mark about the fate of tonight's game. News 12 Sydney Heiberger live at SRP Park. And, Sydney, what have managers told you about the game tonight?
Meredith, right now, it's kind of a wait-and-see, play-it-by-ear type of situation. Just about 2 minutes ago, this place was in a total downpour. Clearly, we were in the thick of it, thunder, lightning. Things have kind of calmed down a little bit here just in the past few minutes, but you can see this white tarp protecting the infield here. Hopefully, we still have a game tonight. Right now, if it stays like it is right now, hopefully we won't have another big surge like we did. But Green Jackets general manager tells me they're likely not going to make any decisions about delaying or canceling tonight's game until about an hour before it starts. Of course, everyone very excited for this opening night. It's been more than 600 days since the Green Jackets have been able to play baseball. Now the team is an Atlanta Braves affiliate. Makes it all more exciting. General manager Brandon Green thinks that's going to play a major role in increasing ticket sales this year. Actually, this is a record-setting year for season ticket holders with more than 2,000 of them. Obviously, the stadium taking a big financial hit this past year. And if we do get an opening tonight, he says it's going to be the start of an exciting and necessary recovery.
We can open up our concession stands, and we can open up our merchandise store, and we have sponsors that have supported us throughout the pandemic and this year, and we can fulfill all what we promised them, and we're really looking forward to doing that this year.
Thunderstorm warning for northern Burke County and east central Georgia, Richmond County and east central Georgia, Barnwell County and central South Carolina, southern Lexington County and central South Carolina, Aiken County and central South Carolina, northwestern Orangeburg County and central South Carolina until 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 5:29 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 8 miles southwest of Red Bank to near Hephzibah, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. Additional isolated severe thunderstorms were also located ahead of this line. The following hazards are expected: 60 miles per hour wind gusts. Source: radar indicated. The following impacts are expected. Expects damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Aiken, North Augusta, Waynesboro, Fort Gordon, Augusta, Clearwater, Savannah Riverside, Aiken Mall, Plan Vogel, Belvedere, Red Bank, Hephzibah, Williston, Blackville, New Allentown, Jackson, Glendale, South Augusta, Somerville, and Augusta Mall. This includes the following highways: Interstate 20 in South Carolina between mile markers 3 and 50. Interstate 520 in Georgia between mile markers 2 and 15. Interstate 520 in South Carolina between mile markers 16 and 23.
Held in the Aiken County Detention Center.
The Richmond County school system is accepting applications now for a virtual learning option for the upcoming school year. This is for students from 6th through the 12th grade. This option means students can learn remotely for the entire school year ahead. The application process is open on the district's website through the end of this month. Acceptance, that's based on a lottery system. Students not selected, they'll be registered for the school they are zoned to attend.
We'll make sure that you have a laptop and connectivity, and every day you will be logging in and interacting with your teachers. Monday through Thursday, we have synchronous live sessions using Microsoft Teams, and then on Fridays, you will have all asynchronous work.
Now, this is something they tried to roll out several years ago, but there just wasn't enough interest then. But now, the pandemic is proving learning virtually is a valid option.
We've all heard about the COVID long haulers, people who are feeling symptoms months after they got sick. Well, now some of those COVID survivors are turning to researchers at MUSC to try and understand those symptoms.
Basically, I'm hooked up to a stimulator and a tablet, and I'm hoping that me participating in this study will help provide some answers for not only me, but for other long haulers.
Health officials at MUSC say they call it PASC, but there is no official criteria to be diagnosed as a long hauler.
It appears like there's some sort of very strong inflammatory response, and we've seen it in other infections. I think the one that, for me, that comes most readily to mind is Ebola.
Researchers across the world are studying long haulers, and some scientists estimate 10% of people with COVID have long-term symptoms. A bill that would help first responders suffering from PTSD is closer to becoming law in South Carolina. Unlike a physical injury, mental illnesses or mental injuries aren't covered under workers' compensation.
And this new bill would let first responders get workers' comp if diagnosed with a stress-related mental illness from a traumatic event on duty. Nia Watson shows us why supporters say it is an important step.
It's about people and making sure they're healthy, both at work and at home.
Whether it's running into a burning building or being sent to a shooting, the dangers first responders face are endless. But the pain you can't see can take even a bigger toll.
It used to be that it was just kind of suck it up, get over it, get past it, you'll be fine kind of thing. But we've seen over the years that that's just not the case. As suicide cases rises and things like that, we have to do a better job of taking care of ourselves.
The bill introduced by Representative Tommy Pope of York County would allow first responders to receive workers' compensation for PTSD and other mental illnesses caused by a traumatic event while on duty. The impact of a mental injury is something Captain John Evans with the Myrtle Beach Fire Department says he knows all too well.
Especially kids is one of those big things. When you go on a call with a child, at the time it might not be anything, but when you have children, maybe it's something that gets back to you later on.
Executive Director of the State Firefighters Association, Charlie King, says there are programs like SC Fast, which provides first responders with mental health assistance, but the program's coverage is limited to $15,000 a year. King says that similar bills have failed to become law in the past because of the possibility of being able to defraud the system. However, he says with hundreds of firefighters seeking support every day, it's time to put a bigger emphasis on first responders' mental health.
And we want to keep them. We want their talent. We want them to remain doing the things that they do every day that our citizens demand.
The bill passed the House last week. It has been referred to the Senate Judiciary Committee.
All lanes are back open here in Augusta on the Bobby Jones Expressway at the Gordon Highway Bridge. That was not the case earlier this afternoon. Inspectors were out there checking the Gordon Highway Bridge, just making sure there's no permanent damage from a tractor-trailer fire there last week. This all comes after the semi carrying wood chips caught fire there last Thursday. GDOT confirming they did not find any emergency issues, but they're planning to replace a section of the railing there in the coming months.
The Georgia Department of Transportation providing funds to restripe almost 100 miles of interstate. This will make roads safer with better visibility at night. In Richmond County, they're restriping part of I-520. That's from north of Gordon Highway at Exit 3 to east of Deansbridge Road at Exit 5. Georgia DOT giving TRP Construction almost $500,000 for that section of the Bobby Jones. Parts of Georgia still reeling from the damage left behind in yesterday's storms. We'll take you there in 60 seconds. Riley?
And we are tracking severe thunderstorm warnings, some small hail, and a lot of lightning with these cells moving through. Overall, the tornado threat very low. Not expecting much in the way of tornadoes through this evening, mainly a wind and hail event for us. Now, as we head Thursday, Friday, that's when we're expecting sunshine to finally return to us, and those temperatures going to be dropping a little bit below average, upper 70s by Friday.
Riley, thanks a lot. Some parts of Georgia are seeing significant storm damage following yesterday's line of storms. Going to show you some drone shots over the Atlanta area, and you can see some of the roofing there peeled off that industrial complex there. A lot of trees down there along the side of the roadways, and of course that brought down the power lines along with it. Parking lots just full of all kinds of debris, and those cars down there below parked underneath all that, you know, they probably had some damage as well. But look at that roof, just completely ripped away there, showing the building down below. So they had some water damage on top of the roof damage there. Just a mess there in parts of North Georgia. So one man is dead in Douglasville, Georgia, after a tree fell on his car. That's about 20 miles outside of Atlanta.
Right. Rebecca Scram shows us many residents in that area are shocked by the damage left behind.
On Orchard Road, Douglas County damage assessment crews begin their survey of the damage to several homes.
It just happened so fast.
Georgia Cordy tells me she was fixing a cup of coffee Monday when it started raining really hard and the house started shaking.
I heard this sound as in... and I glanced out of my sliding glass door just for a second, and I saw stuff flying, and then I immediately got scared, running back and forth in my house, not knowing what to do.
When the winds died down, she couldn't believe what she saw outside.
I was out here in the rain, drenched, and looking at all the broken limbs.
Down the street, she heard a dog crying in pain.
That's where they live, right there.
Daryl Blaylock's two dogs lived in a kennel behind his home. He rushed home from work to find a tree had fallen directly onto the kennel. One of the dogs died on impact. He rushed the other to the vet and got the bad news.
He wasn't going to make it. They were saying his spine was crushed and he was just laying there. And I was like, you know, God, you know, baby, we're going to go on and put him down. My grandkids are really upset behind him.
Neighbors here would soon learn about what happened in nearby Douglasville. 60-year-old Scott Hudson, owner of a barbecue restaurant, Hudson's Hickory House, was killed when a tree fell onto his SUV as he drove down Campbellton Street. Reminders that life is precious and fragile.
You got to stay prayed up in everything you do.
Today, dozens of people stopping by Hudson's Hickory House to pay their respects to Scott Hudson. He is remembered for his food, but also for his friendship.
Still to come here, a devastating fire in Colorado last year, but now artists are creating something else from the ashes. We'll check it out. Check it out.
Back to the place we love. I got him. With endless summer nights comes alive. I don't need the rain when the sky is blue. I don't need the night when the day is through.
For support over the last 5 decades at CSRA Camperland, we sell fun.
Maybe you remember Colorado's Cameron Peak Fire, active from August all the way to December of last year. It left the largest burn scar the state has ever seen.
Yeah, not the name did I remember, but of course that long-term fire. Mark Salinger introduces us to a man in Fort Collins who's using the ash and the burned trees to help fund firefighters' next battle.
Well, right now, this is a very versatile space. Art. I don't necessarily consider myself an artist, not to this core. I can't draw a straight line.
Means something different to everyone.
You know, I want this stuff to be bid up and bid high.
In Tim O'Hara's garage in Fort Collins,
it's a lot of work.
Every painting and sculpture and drawing and piece of jewelry was born from the same devastation.
Each piece has at least one speck of charcoal from the Cameron Peak fire in it. And that's turning ashes to art.
For weeks last summer, Tim watched from his home as the flames became the largest fire the state has ever seen. What it left behind now fills his garage.
Some might have just a little tiny piece of ash in it, some of it's done 100% in ash.
The work began as pieces of burned wood sent to more than 80 artists around the world. Then the boxes started coming in.
Every time you opened a package, it was like, whoa! You know, it blows your mind how much talent's in this room right now.
From the ashes comes art. From the art, Tim hopes he can make a difference.
We're not doing it for us. We're just making sure we try to take care of these volunteer firefighters who are risking not only their lives, but their own homes. Some of them lose their homes in these fires when they're out protecting other people's homes.
Starting next Monday, all 100 pieces will be auctioned off online. The money will go to 2 volunteer fire departments in northern Colorado that help battle the flames.
We have to have something good to remember. I hope everybody that buys a piece has it prominently displayed in their house and they have a story to tell about it.
A story that began with devastation and continues with creativity.
Wow, a phoenix rising from the ashes. Artists from all 50 states and Great Britain donated art to be auctioned off this year.
I also love that it benefits the volunteer firefighters in every area, ours included. They really depend on these people to really sacrifice a lot, pay for a lot that they do, their own equipment in many cases, and to be called out all hours of the day and night.
Yeah, we really ask so much of them. It's
Yeah.
nice to give something back. An Ohio amusement park using a few special guests to test out a new roller coaster, and it turns out Bob Ross isn't always the calm artist we know him to be. Once in a while, he likes a thrill.
Hang on, Bob. This coaster is the tallest and the fastest over at Kings Island Amusement Park. And those Bob Ross dolls, they dropped a 300-foot drop there before racing up and down 7 hills at speeds reaching 91 miles an hour, and the hair is not even ruffled there. Not even ruffled. Bob is really solid, put together.
Happy little curves. Happy little curves.
I don't know. One of them looks like he's panicking.
And pretty good stuff.